Hello, my twisted ones. How y'all doing? Today, we're going to be reading Chapter 2 of The Legend of Battle Island. If you haven't seen Chapter 1 yet, I recommend you go watch that. I highly recommend you watch that video before watching this video. So, with that out of the way, let's get into Chapter 2. Party music. I opened my eyes, looked around, then, okay, so I'm going to tell you what I saw, but first, I feel like I need to warn you. You know how your brain automatically tunes out anytime someone starts talking about their dream? Like, you might really try to pay attention, but then they get to the part where their sister who was actually their grandma, gave them a banana that transformed them into Donkey Kong, maybe it was King Kong, and you started skipping ahead. I'm gonna need you not to do that for this next part, but it'll sound very much like one of those weird dreams. But I promise, it was 100% real. I was sitting on a bus. I believe it was the bus I used to ride to my elementary school. It was blaring party music. Still following along? Good. I opened the window and peeked down to see if the bus was blue like I remember from my elementary days. It was blue. It was also floating 5,000 feet above the island where I live. How was it floating? Great question. I'm glad you're still with me. It was floating because it had a hot air balloon strapped to its roof. I rubbed my eyes and let that sink in. There was really only one option here. I was on the bus to heaven. Give the angels points for creativity. Give the angels points for creativity, I guess, I sighed. This is not how I expected the end of my life to go. But at least I lived long enough to see high school. I leaned out the window to wave one last goodbye to my island home, then settled in and smiled at the guy sitting next to me. He was wearing a tomato on his head. "Hey," I said, "you dead too?" Tomato Head didn't respond. "My name is Pete." I stuck out my hand. "Pete Carson." Tomato Head didn't shake. I continued holding out my hand. I lived on that island down there. Well, lived on that island down there, I guess. I exploded, unfortunately. Tomato Head looked me in the eye, glanced down, then faced forward, and without saying a word, I looked down, then turned red. I was still in my boxers. "Listen, I didn't know I was gonna die," I stammered. "I have pants at home, and if I'd had just a few more seconds, I would have." I stopped. I didn't know why. I didn't know why I felt like I needed to explain myself to someone wearing a tomato on his head. The guy shook his big head, then walked to the back of the bus to join about 50 other freaks in costumes. There were a bunch of people dressed in army figures. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word because I have no flipping clue. Army uniforms, a lifeguard, an astronaut, 2 Vikings, and a guy who looked like Keanu Reeves, or however you say it, from that movie where he shoots a zillion people. I'm assuming that that's a reference to John Wick. Tell me in the comments below if that's a reference to John Wick, because I have no freaking clue. From that movie where he shoots a zillion people, yeah. "Hey, excuse me," nobody turned around. I get out of my seat. "Is everyone here dead?" When it became clear no one would be answering me, I glanced back at the window and squinted. Wait a second. We weren't floating away from the island. We were floating toward it. Just then, the bus's back door flew open, and Tomato Head jumped out. Whoa, I yelled. Did he have a parachute? It didn't look like he had a parachute. Nobody listened to me. 20 more people followed Tomato Head to the ground. I got so mad at everyone for not listening to me that I stomped into the middle of the aisle and screamed, "Why is everyone jumping?" People from the front of the bus stood up and started walking toward me. But instead of answering my question, they pushed me toward the open door. "Hey, wait, I don't want to go back there," I yelled, trying to hang on to the back of the seat. Nobody cared. The growing tide of costume weirdos pushed me until I ran out of things to grab and fell out of the bus. Chapter 3, Boogie Bomb. Well, that was Chapter 2, Tomato Head. That was Chapter 2 of Battle Island. Oh, I forgot to say what the chapter's name was. Chapter 2, Tomato Head. That's Chapter 2's name. So Chapter 3 is Chapter 3, Boogie Bomb. Okay, so I will see you guys next episode. So whenever I finish, and we've only got about maybe 7, 8 more chapters left. And if you have the Legend of Battle Island at your home at home with you at home in your house, then feel free to read along with me. So yeah, bye.